Hi everyone, Emily here from Emily's Excellent Epics, and today I have for you my May TBR. And in May, I am participating in Mystery and Mayhem, and that is created by Madi over at This Bookish Cottage. I am participating on the Mastermind team, and the team captain for that is Tiffany over at Beach Bum Bookworm. And I forgot her co-team captain's names. I'm so sorry. So go check out that announcement video for that over at This Bookish Cottage. I'm also participating in Escape the Readathon, hosted by Books with Lexi. I'm on the podcasting team. I don't remember my team captain's names. I'm so sorry. But I am on the podcasting team. So go check out Books with Lexi's announcement video as well. I'm really pretty nervous about Escape the Readathon. This is my first time participating in it. I've heard some things, like I did the Amazing Readathon last year, and people were still talking about Escape the Readathon because Escape the Readathon was in May, TAR was in June. So like some people were still talking about it in June for the Amazing Readathon. So I'm a little nervous with how this works. Not quite sure how it works. So we'll see how my TBR actually plays out because of Escape the Readathon. And also, I'm a high school special education teacher. It's May. It's going to be a busy time. So, and this week, which is, I'm filming this the Saturday before Easter, this past week, reading slump hit hard. Where I normally read between 50 and 100 pages a day, or like 20. And that was a stretch. I'm pushing it. So we'll see how May plays out, but we have high hopes. So without further ado, I'm going to get started. I have for you, like how I organized this was, here are my top priorities. I'm going to go over those first. But I think like with Escape the Readathon, whatever room gets picked, that's the room that I'm going to be reading first. So we'll see at the end of the month what I actually read. But first up, top priority that I really do want to get to is Queen of Shadows by Sarah J. Maas. And this is book 5 in the Throne of Glass series, right? 5, 6, 7, yes. Book 5. And we follow Selena Sardouthian, who is a trained assassin. And she becomes, after being enslaved for a year in the salt mines, she becomes, in the first book, she gets taken out of the salt mines by Kale and Prince Dorian to compete in this contest to become the Queen's champion, who is then, like, if she wins, she then becomes, like, the top assassin for the realm. So that's what this follows. And I looked over there. I have my window open. It's kind of a dark and gloomy day, and kind of cool out. So I might have to close it soon. But I wanted some fresh air. And I live near a busy street. So I apologize if you hear any sounds from there. But what this will fit for things. So this would fit for the for Escape the Readathon, this fits for the pool room with double letters. So, and for the double letters prompt, you can only have 2. Like, you can't have more than 3 of that letter, okay? So I've got double letters in Queen, the E's. I have 2 O's. I have 2 S's, okay? And then for Mystery Mayhem, here's where, like, I hope I can really, I want to read this. Like, and I was going to read this in April and it just didn't work out. But this is going to give great monster book points for Mystery Mayhem. So I get 25 points based on the number of pages that are in this book. There's a map in the book, so that's +2. It's an author I've read before, so that's +3. There's multiple POVs, so that's +4. It's the top of my TBR, so that's +3. It's the most read favorite genre, so that's +2. There's an animal in it. I'm counting Abraxas as an animal, so that's +2. It's a host favorite, so that's +5. It was a Goodreads Choice winner for YA the year that it came out, so that's +3. There's a red cover, and I'm on the Mastermind team, so I get bonus points for it being a red cover. And now some readathons say the edition that you read has to have this on the cover. This readathon is, if there's any edition of this book that has it on the cover, you can get the points for it. So, Masterminds, we get bonus points for a red cover, which this is. We also get bonus points for if there's a person on the cover, and the original covers, as you know, have people on the cover. So, +10 there for me. So, if I read this for Mystery Mayhem, this book gives our team 59 points. So, like, that's a boku ton of points. So I need to read that book. The next book I hope to read, and I think Queen of Shadows might work. I think Queen of Shadows was also on my fantasy TBR. Well, Tower of Dawn was, but but if Queen of Shadows is told in parts, then I'll use that for the Our Fantasy Bingo. I also want to read Quicksilver by Callie Hart. It's a fae romance. I've heard really good things. I've also heard really bad things about this. So we shall see how this goes for me. For the Escape the Readathon, this would be the theater prompt, which is just a popcorn read. For Mystery Mayhem, this is a new to me author, so that's +3 points. Most read favorite genre, fantasy romance, +2. It has a map, so that's +2. It's a host favorite, so that's +5. There's a person on the cover, so that's +5. For page points, it would be 25 points. So total, I would get 42 points for my team. And this is just about Sarah's Fane, who's good at keeping secrets. And she has some strange powers, or the fact she's been picking pockets, stealing from the Undying Queen's reservoirs for as long as she can remember. And then she comes face to face with Death himself. She inadvertently reopens a gateway between realms and is transported to a land of ice and snow. This is also on my Our Fantasy Bingo. I substituted out a prompt, because you can do that. For one prompt, you can substitute out a prompt. So I substituted out a prompt for a book like over 600 pages, and Quicksilver will be on there. So the next book, and this is a book that I have to read. This was picked by a book club that I'm in for our May read, and that is The God of the Woods by Liz Moore. And this book is about, from what I understand, like a summer camp, and a kid goes missing, and that child is the child of like the owner, I think. Yes, she's a daughter of the family that owns a summer camp, and they had another child, I think that was, yes, another child. They had another child that had disappeared earlier. So this also is the Lolly winner, the Book of the Year winner for Book of the Month. So it has sprayed edges and then kind of like a shiny foil on the back. So for things flying around, for Escape the Readathon, this would be Concierge Desk, which is just read the book for pages, because I couldn't figure out where it would fit prompt-wise. For Mystery Mayhem, it's a Goodread top books the year that it came out, so that's +5. It's a new to me author, +3. Top of my TBR, yes, because it's for book club, so that's +3. Multiple point of views, +4. Ooh, I forgot Queen of Shadows has multiple point of views. +15 points for page count. So this would be 30 points for Mystery Mayhem. Did I put down here? Hold on. Oh no, I got multiple point of views. Sorry, we're a little chaotic. I next want to read Murder by Cheesecake by Rachel Ekstrom Courage. This is a Golden Girls cozy mystery. How fun is that? Okay, and so this is Rose is hosting her cousin's wedding in Miami, and she needs to pull off the traditional St. Olaf wedding customs. And Dorothy is trying this newfangled VHS dating service. How funny is that? VHS, it's new. So yeah, that's going to be interesting. So for the Escape the Readathon, this is going to be a library book, which is just read for page count. And then for Mystery Mayhem, this is their group, like buddy read. I don't remember if we get bonus points for that or not. But this will be a new to me author, so that's +3. A mood read, I'm hoping, so that's +2. Pages, it's only 300 points, so I get 5 points for that. There are people on the cover, so that's 5 points. So for Mystery Mayhem, this only gets me 15 points for the team. But I might need something light and enjoyable, given I've got a lot of chunky books on my TBR. I don't think there's any kind of way that I'm going to be able to read all these books. But we're going to give it a valiant go. The next book I have on my TBR is Apprentice to the Villain by Hannah Nicole Mayer. And this is about Evie Sage. And she works for a villain. And we kind of left off in a clean cliffhanger from book 1. And I really... this is fantasy romance, but it's clean. Like, the most steam that book 1 had was they kissed. That was it. They kissed. So, yeah. And it's very, cozy, I feel like. So, for Escape the Readathon, the prompt that it fits is dining room, which matches your outfit. Now, you can clearly tell this does not match my outfit right now. However, when I was making my TBR for May, I had a red hoodie on, and confession time, I might have put the red hoodie on because I was like, I have to pick out red cover books for murder or Mystery Mayhem. So I put the red hoodie on to make sure I could match covers too. So full confession time, but it matches my outfit. For Mystery Mayhem, it has a map. So that's +2. It's an author I've read before, so that's +3. It's the most read favorite genre, so that's +2. There is an animal, so there's a frog. I'm counting that as an animal, so that's +2. It is a host favorite, so that's +5. There is a red cover, so that's +5 points. And for page count, it would be +5 points for a total of 24 points for my team. Yeah. And the reason why I'm going through all the page counts and stuff, if you are choosing to participate in any of these readathons, I'm hoping that that this video will help you build your TBR. All right, the next book is another chunky one. I'm so glad I got 2 that are non-chunky. I do think Quicksilver is going to read quickly, hopefully. Is A Drop of Corruption by Robert Jackson Bennett. And this is book 2 in the Anna and Din mystery series. So Anna is kind of like a Sherlock Holmes. Din is kind of like our Watson. And they are investigating a set of murders where a tree has grown out of this person. So this fits for me for our fantasy bingo for biopunk. Because there is technology that involves biology. And so this is now book 2 in the series. And Din has this special ability. So when he goes to crime scenes, he will smell something, and that helps him remember everything. So he'll smell something, and then he'll take in the crime scene. And then when he goes back and recounts it to Anna, he'll sniff that same scent, so that way he can remember everything. And for Escape the Readathon, this would be Bar, the room for Bar. the room would be bar because it's a genre blend. We've got fantasy, we've got mystery. For Mystery Mayhem, it has map in the cover, so that's +2. It's an author I've read before, so that's +3. It's top of my TBR. I picked basically if I can speak. If it's on my R Fantasy Bingo, I kind of put that as top of my TBR because I need to be mindful, and if I read 2 books a month, I'll be able to finish that in a year. It's my most read genre. There are people on the cover. It seems deceptive, but if you look, so person, people on the cover. And for page count, it's 15 points. So, excuse me, I didn't add it up. 15 plus 5 is 20, 25, 30 points for Team Masterminds if I read this book. 2 more books. Now you can see why I'm like, this is a very ambitious, very, very ambitious TBR. Next up is 5 Broken Blades by May Corland. And this is just about assassins, from what I understand, who need to murder a king. That's really all I know. For Escape the Readathon, the room that would fit would be the gym and spa, and that's a book that I've been putting off. I mean, I've had this since whenever it came out, which was May 2024. And I keep looking at it, and I just haven't read it. So it's a book I've been putting off. It does, for Mystery Mayhem, it has a map, so that's +2. There's multiple POV, so that's +4. Most read favorite genre, it's romantasy, +2. New to me author, +3. It's red on the cover, +5. Page count is +15. So that would be 31 points. Whew. And last but not least, and for sure last because I totally forgot about this book, or totally forgot about this prompt. And I had a really hard time figuring out a book for this prompt for Escape the Readathon. But the book is The Pomegranate Gate by Ariel Kaplan. Now, I could have used this for a book that I've been putting off because I've had this since Christmas break 2023. So I've had this for a while. I was super excited to read this. I just have not read it yet. But this is about Toba Perez, and I really don't know too much, but it's about the queen is demanding that every Jew either convert or face banishment. And our 2 main characters, Toba and Naphtali, are thousands of Jews who flee their homes, and they're defying orders to abandon all possessions. Toba keeps an amulet she must never take off. Naphtali smuggles a century-old book he's forbidden to read. But the Inquisition is hunting these particular treasures, and they're not hunting alone. And then things go from there. This is book 1 in a series. For Escape the Readathon, I'm using this for underrated book. The room is arcade, so an underrated book. And underrated is just up to your own interpretation. So for me, I'm doing underrated as like, I have not heard really any booktuber talk about, any fantasy booktuber that I watch, I've not heard anyone talk about this book. I've heard one person talk about this book. And that person loved the book and raved about the book. But like I said, I've only heard one person talk about this book. So that's why I'm thinking this might be underrated. For Mystery Mayhem, it has a map, so that's +2. Most read favorite genre, +2. New to me authors, +3. There is a person there on the cover, so that's +5. For pages, it would be +20. So this would give my team +32 points. Phew. Now I'm going to say this. it worked out really great for me, the mystery mayhem prompts, like maps and multiple POVs, because I read a lot of fantasy, and a lot of fantasy has multiple POVs and maps. And then the page count bonus prompt also really worked out well for me, because fantasy books were known for being chonky beasts. So we shall see how much I actually read in May. I'm not a big audiobook person. Simply, like, if I've never read the book before, I don't focus well. So if I've read the book before, audiobooks work okay for me, but not if I've never read the book before. So we shall see how I do. But let me know in the comments below, are you participating in any readathons in May? If so, what are they? What team are you on? Have you read any of these books before? What were your favorite? And as always, like, subscribe, hit the notification buttons, commenting. If you're not sure what to comment, leave a cake emoji for the Murder by Cheesecake. Those things really do help the channel grow and help boost it up in the algorithm in YouTube. So I greatly appreciate all the interaction. And as always, happy reading. Bye.